Yes. Good morning, everybody. Big Bear coming at you from Charlotte, North Kakalaki. Today, this talk is going to be about digestion and the initial pursuits, I suppose. What to do to prepare for digestion before you eat if you're having some difficulties. Some of these remedies that I've employed may help you. I have discovered that myself, I appear to be deficient in certain enzymes, and therefore I have difficulty breaking down foods without taking the enzymes. In addition, there's something going on with my HCl production. Apparently I don't make enough at the right time, and so I supplement with HCl. It also has some other stuff in it, pepsin, papain, and bromelain. There's different varieties of it. So I just wanted to touch base on these real quick. I'll start with this one. I just added this one in because it doesn't seem to be in any of the multi-strain enzyme packages that I've seen. I've taken several of them from several different sources, and none of them seem to have this in it, and I've added this in, and this seems to really be helping me all of a sudden here lately. So and it's basically what's in, we're familiar with Beano, I think. This one's called Super Bean Relief, but it's the enzyme alpha galactosidase, and this one's from Aspergillus niger. But since I started taking this one, it really helps me with my starches and stuff, and I knew I had issues with starches before, and the problem is then the starches will go to sugars, but hey, anyway, that seems to be helping me a lot with starch issues. The other one, and again, I don't promote any particular brand. This is what I happen to be taking now. You just need a broad-based enzyme. This one is enzymes essential to the digestion and assimilation of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. And these are ones that are found naturally in the body. I think there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this one, really, it's got some of the same things that are in here. It's got the pepsin, the papain, and the bromelain. So that's some of the enzymes that are in here. Enzymes do not participate in a reaction. They are just there to assist the reaction. They effectively increase the surface area of the substance being acted upon through the chemical reaction. So they're not used up, they don't participate in it. All they do is they just assist the reaction. That's one of the things that, when you break down stuff in your body, the chemical reaction normally would not take place at the temperatures that we have, and you normally have to have a higher temperature to break it down. And the enzymes allow that to take place at your body's temperature, and that's another thing that the enzymes do. As far as those are concerned, you just pop one before you eat each meal, any large meal. I wanted to take a moment, and I actually didn't bring my book with me. I brought the other book. Dr. Baruti in particular talks in depth about betaine HCl and about supplementing with HCl. This is hit or miss, guys. This took a lot of trial and error for me to figure out what was not enough and what was too much. Supplementing with the hydrochloric acid is something not to be taken lightly, and so if you're doing that, you need to make sure that it's right. What I did, this is what I did. I started with 1, then I upped it to 2, then I upped it to 3. And that really seemed to kind of be working pretty good. So I stuck it with 3 for a little while. And then I went to 4. And that seemed kind of, maybe a little too much. I went to 4 again, too much. So I backed it off to 3, and it seemed to be okay. Backed it off to 2. So I played around with it a lot. And for me, that's just me. And these are 600 milligrams. I had some other ones that were 850 milligrams. It was 2 of them. So that would have been 1,700, but I take 3 of these, which is 1,800. So that makes, so apparently for me, I need 1,800 milligrams of HCl supplementation per big meal, big protein. Now remember, we don't eat the right, I do like everybody else sometimes too, you know, I'm eating big protein meals, you know, way more than we actually need. So that's why I have to do that too, because I won't digest it otherwise and it gets ugly if I don't digest it. And that's really all we're here for today. I wanted to touch base on enzyme and HCl supplementation. Most people, as they get older, or if you have damage to your system, particularly like liver and pancreas damage, there's pancreatic enzymes too. I'm not sure if those are in here, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm giving you things to look at for you. I'm not telling you to do what I did. I'm telling you what I did so you can go consider it. And these enzymes cover the bases for me for the most part. I think there's another one that may be a little more broad-based now that I looked at it. I grabbed that off the shelf and it seems to help. It seems to have most of the ones that I needed. That one, adding that in, really helped a lot too. I had to do this for 3.5 years though. This, believe it or not, this got me off the Tagamet also. I know it doesn't seem to make sense adding HCl, but see, that was the problem. I wasn't digesting my food. I needed the HCl with my food. So, that's another avenue that you could potentially explore, is whether or not HCl is needed in your diet to assist you with digesting proteins. Just to remind you, in case you weren't aware, and I wasn't when I first got into this stuff, but we have a dual digestive system. I haven't remembered this stuff since I was like 12 or 14 years old. But your stomach is acidic. We all know that. Your small intestine is alkaline. We all kind of know that too. I mean, that part was elementary and simple for me. Well, what I didn't realize is that proteins pretty much almost exclusively break down in the stomach in the acid environment. Almost everything else that we eat has to break down in the small intestine, and that's probably why it's so much longer and it takes longer. Alkaline takes a long time. It's got to penetrate, it's got to sink in and so forth. So you need your stomach to break down the proteins, and I don't know what else. And if you don't, then it will retard the digestion of the other stuff. And I think that's what this has done for me, is it's assisted me in breaking down my proteins so that they didn't interfere with the digestion of the rest of my food later on down in my digestive tract. Another thing Dr. Brody recommends is keeping carbohydrates separate from proteins. And that's helped me as often as possible. I don't eat, you know, the old meat and potatoes was what we were told, and I don't do that anymore. I keep the potatoes separate from the meat. Spaghetti, bad for you. Pizza, bad for you. You don't want the carbs with the meat. And doing that has helped me immensely as well. Anyway, to your health, thank you for joining me. I love you all. I wish you the best.